What is up, folks? Jorge Anito here. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second installment of Random Cool. Now you may be asking yourselves, what is Random Cool? Well, essentially it's a compilation video of 5 moves, slights, what have you. Things in and of themselves probably don't merit an entire video, but together, 5 of them, hey, brings us here today. Using the new Dondorf playing cards by Daniel Snyder of Black Roses. Man, these things are wonderful. Anyway, take the top card, essentially, and what you want to do is put it in the center of the pack, just like so. And it's controlled to the top. This is just a fun move by Jerry Sadowits. If you don't know who that is, he was a Scottish magician, comedian, mentor to Derren Brown. Yes, famous UK mentalist Derren Brown. All those TV presentations. Man, yeah. He really helped put Derren Brown on the map, put him in touch with some people, and Derren Brown credits him to this day as having just a pivotal role in his success. So this is a Jerry Sadowits move, first published in 1980, card hits, and it's called Slip Jog, essentially, and it's a top control. So you're showing a selection, and what the move is mimicking is you're thumbing off the selection into about the center of the pack, but really what you're doing is you're breaking off about 3/4 of the deck. Okay, you could do it probably with about half. It doesn't matter, whatever's more comfortable for you. But instead of thumbing this card over, you're actually dragging the bottom card with your index finger. So that's what it looks like. It's a really cool action. It's not hard to do. You're just essentially dragging this card over. The thumb merely drags across the top without bringing that card with it. Instead, bringing the bottom card, at which point, obviously it's controlled to the top. It's just a great move, man. Some of these moves are just awesome. Jerry Sadowits, legend. That's number 5, the Slip Jog. So, super cool peek, super clean. Just doing a flick. You're grabbing the card by its index corner with the index, and you're just taking your middle finger. It's just like, hey, remember your card, right? That's all it is. And in this flicking action, you'll be able to get a downward view of this pip right here, securing a vital piece of information, that being the pip, the selection. It's really easy to do. It's not tough at all. The credits for this all over the place. Wow. Bruce Cervon said that he saw Vernon show it to him back in like 1960. You can find it by Forces Unseen, Card Cavalcade by Minsker. Sorry, I'm just looking down at my notes. I learned it from Stephen Hobbs' Technical Toolbox. He likes to incorporate this in like a spread, which I find to be a little bit awkward for me, how he does it. I just like to do it the old-fashioned way, just the regular method. Just flicking it. It's called Flimpse. There you have it. Alright, coming in at the number 3 spot is a really fun move called the Velvet Turnover by Derren Brown. Yes, we talked about him earlier. Jerry Sadowits, his mentor. Before he did all that mentalism stuff, he was messing around with cards, and this was one thing that he did quite a bit. And like I said, it's a card switch. You have a card palmed and lateral palm. This is how I do it, I should mention. Derren Brown does it a little bit differently. I find it more comfortable for me to do the lateral palm with the index corner in the pinky ring finger crotch and the middle finger holding up on the non-pip corner. So just like that. And you're just coming in and you're turning a card over. In the action of turning this card back over, you're coming up and displaying the palmed card as if this is the one that you just saw. Obviously it's not, but we know what the deal is. And it's just as simple as that. It's just a simple card control is all it is. It's a lot of fun to do. One thing that I find with this move, however, it could be awkward, you know, trying to turn the card over with a card palmed. So what I like to do is allow the deckhand, or the non-deckhand, which ironically has the deck in it, it does most of the action. So it helps to turn the card over. Essentially, once I have the card in this position, I'll lever down and just kind of allow this card to almost flip itself over instead of using this hand to do all the action, potentially flashing. I'll grab this right here, I'll lever down so this side drops, flip it over, come over like that, display it, at which point you can do whatever. Now this is going to be best from a slight right angle, the old Leonard Green slight right. You could do it head on, but you have to be very careful of your angles. This is a move that I like quite a bit, but what happens is you'll often see some kind of break. Let me do a really bad one here. Right, you'll often see like some kind of a break. If not a break, then you'll see like clearly two packets separated. And this is just such a good move, but man, it's done so poorly. And by me, I've done this so poorly over the years. This is a Marlo move, I think. A lot of people do stuff with this. But what you'll often hear is when people will say to get the break from the pinky right down at the bottommost corner. Right? And that's in Marlo. But what I find is sometimes I'm left with this situation and it's just not clean like I like it. Now some people may be able to do it like that. I'm not. But what I do is I essentially grab the break with the fat of my ring finger. So it's a flesh break. Is what that is. Just like that. And what happens is that allows for me to get a clean break. Now I'm doing this real slow. Let me just show you here. For me, it's a little bit cleaner. Obviously from here I will transfer to a pinky. You may do a swivel still, you may do a pass. You may do something, maybe you do one of those, what's that one thing? Like a peek, stair step peek, whatever they call that. But yeah, it's just the idea of maintaining a clean break, flat edges. And I'll grip the deck with my ring finger down here by my pinky, right? The thumb, Marlo and other people will say to place this kind of high. I place my thumb just kind of around the middle. And the index is probably the most important part because that's going to help clean up the maintained break, because once I'm in this position, right here, as I start to riffle the rest of the cards, I'm using my index to push back toward me, essentially closing that break right there. Coming in at the number one spot, man. Give the cards a shuffle. And actually, you know what? Let's actually cut the cards before we push them together. You know what? Let's actually just strip the packets away, leaving one card only. Your selection. This is the elegant tabled card production. It's just a card production. That's all it is. It's a really cool move. I learned this from Asad over at 52 cards. You can find this in Card College. Bruce Cervon move. So you have a card controlled to the bottom, whatever way you want to do that, but it has to be controlled to the bottom. And what you do is essentially you're taking the top half, you're going in to shuffle the cards. Cards controlled to the bottom. You start the shuffle by shuffling off this card first, followed by the rest of the cards, right? So if I was to pick up these cards, you could see that the selection is laid flush with this packet over here. What I want to do is move these cards to where I want to position this card to where it's dead center with the 2 packs. Now this can flash, but if you push the cards forward like this, that's how that's maneuvered. So just a quick little sweep to the left, and you can see that this selection is right in the middle of these cards. At this point, you'll take the cards and you'll cut them. Pick this card up, or pick this packet up, and you'll just lay this packet right on top. And what happens is, when you go to strip these packets away, since that card is in the dead center, it's going to swivel around your fingers and just plop right out, seemingly coming right out of the deck. You're stripping the cards away, leaving 1 card shown, the selection. I hope you enjoy that, guys. That is the Elegant Table Production. I hope you enjoyed that second installment of Random Cool. Let me know in the comments if this is a series that we should continue. I have a ton of these little moves and ideas, slides, and whatnot. But have a good weekend, Saturday. Enjoy yourselves. Jorge Anito here, signing off. Be blessed.